It's a great day here at KEKFILA's YouTube channel. I am the KEKFILA, and a little bit of a different intro. I am going to be going over the game I played. I am going to be skipping 2 games, however, which it's 9 games in this tournament, right? However, in game 5, essentially I faced a Katakuri who didn't have any 10-drop bombs in his deck. I offered to send him some, but he just didn't have any of those, so it was not that awesome of a game to watch. And in game 6, I actually had a no-show, so I did play against another no-show, which is Frenzy X in my Twitch chat, and we had a fun game. It's on Twitch, but I don't really want to go over that game for this scenario, which, again, I guess that was a little more of a casual game, but it was, you know, competitive enough. But with that, I'm going into game 6 here, but before I do, I first want to say to everybody, thank you so much for over 700 subscribers now on the channel. I really do appreciate every single sub, every like. You guys already know I'm doing a lot of stuff with Will, doing a lot of content, and I kind of want to build this channel a little bit as far as like a side project, and definitely just kind of encapsulate a handful of games and bring that knowledge to you guys so you can see what's going on with more interesting decks than the usual meta of, like, you know, Red Green Law or Zoro and just playing one-piece card game. But I do want to say as well, I am going to be playing Cartamagica this Saturday, and I'm live streaming it on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/KEKFILA. Come check it out. Last week was poppin'. I had lots of views and just really good engagements. I do a little bit of WoW in between the rounds because I get a little bored, but yeah, with that, I will now show you this Whitebeard game. Let's go. All right, and welcome back to this video. I'm facing against Whitebeard. This is round, I believe, 7 out of 9, so I have 3 games more total. I'm 3-3 at this point. So I guess I can only go up from here. I guess I can go down, but I ended up losing the die roll. He chooses to go second, which is pretty good for Whitebeard in this matchup, I think. I go through my usual BS of mulligan. I mulligan, he doesn't mulligan, and we're just going to go from here. I do want to say this is one of the interesting matchups where Whitebeard just loses life and then I gain life. It's one of those polar opposites from each other, and I'm surprised it does generally this well. So I take my turn. I don't do anything. He takes his turn. He actually doesn't have a play on his 2-Dawn turn. Unlucky. Maybe he has other cards he could have played, and I played out a Doflamingo Don Quixote 3-cost, looking to stack the top of my deck with the next few turns. So I organize it in a certain way. I kind of look at that and I put it back, and then I completely end my turn with 5 cards in hand. He then goes to his turn, which he goes to his 4-Dawn turn. Normal things, I give him a 2k. He's going to pay 4 to play down a Luffy, and we go from there. I then attach 1 to my leader. I just swing 6 at him. And then we realize at this point, he forgot to take his life. This is honestly my fault for not making sure to do that, but we got it fixed. He's okay with the thatch going on. So he actually guards out of the 1k, which I disagree with, but you know, it's 1 card difference, right? Maybe a 2 card over a long period of time. But I don't have a 3000 worlds for this Luffy. I do, however, have this Sanji, and when he ditches a thatch, I'm thinking he has another awesome thatch to play down here. So I give him a 2k counter and another 2k counter. And I actually, to tell you the truth, I thought about this turn for quite a bit if I wanted to mulligan, but these are really good 2k counters to counter out of. So I've used 3 Sasakis so far. That's really lucky to be at 0 life here. And so I think about this next move. I wish I had some sort of removal card for this, but you know what's better than a removal card? Just swinging really big at that Luffy, and I really want that Luffy gone. I put 4 on my leader so I can swing 9 at it. But I think here for a while, do I really want to play a crappy blocker? Because I probably have like a really bad blocker I could play. But instead of playing the big blocker, I'll keep it for counter. Because I don't want him to Marco it. I swing 12 at that Luffy, letting it die. And again, I'm just trying to stall out for later in the game when I can start playing my big cards. Don't really care too much about getting cards out of his hand, getting him down in life. I just want to remove his board, and swinging 12 at a character is probably a good way to remove that. So he first swings 6 at me with his leader. I decide, and I think here, kind of stressed out, like, you know, I don't want to keep these. I just give him 2 1Ks for that. He's going to swing 8K at me. Can't go out of that. So I take this, going down to now 2 cards in hand, 3 life. He places down a Marco, which, again, I didn't place on a blocker, so he didn't get value out of that. And then I just go down to my Night Dawn turn and play down a Mihawk, just removing the Thatch and ending my turn. Very simple. I don't even attack. I can't even attack if I wanted to. And I still have these 2 blockers here, which is pretty good. So my opponent swings first 7 at me. I take it. He's going to swing another 7 at me as well here. And I do want to kind of go over some math soon on how this deck works. Stay tuned for like probably like the last series or maybe the next video. I'll be doing how to math out and make sure you have enough life, enough cards in hand, and enough life to do what you need to do, and I'll break that down for you guys. So with that, I do play, or he does play that Nami. I can't remember if he got anything off of that. Let me just take a look. He got a guard point, and he places down a Frankie, and really it seems like he's just, I don't even know if he did anything else. We were just counting how much Dawn he had open. He used 1 too many Dawn, but he says he's gonna pass turn exactly with that. Then we go to my next turn. I draw another card, so I have 2 cards in hand, 2 in life, so I can use skill right away to get a life. I want to hit this Marco, and unfortunately I'm not going to be able to save this Doflamingo if he has a Red Hawk, which, you know, is kind of a normal thing. I'd rather get a life than save a blocker, which you consider both the same thing, but not really. The value of a life is actually a little bit more than a blocker. So I go 6 at his character Marco, and he gives me a 1K counter. And then I decide to go 9 at that character Marco, letting him essentially Red Hawk it. He Red Hawks my blocker off the field. And then I pay 9 to play down that Doflamingo. That Doflamingo, I put that Marco to the bottom of the deck. Pretty solid for me. I get the Red Hawk out early, put the blocker over here. I have a huge field. He has to be so worried about me swinging a bunch of big swings. And he still has to push my life. Me being high in life is actually becoming a problem, because I have, my skill can be activated. I'm not bricked up. He is not kitted out. So he first swings 6 at me. I take this one. He swings another 6 at me. I think about this. If I want to deal with that, deal with this. If he can pull, you know, 2 rush cards or this or that. So I'm just mathing out if I need to counter out and take the damage actually here. So that's like the main thing. So because I have Yamato, it actually makes a difference if I do this. Right? Because I know I have Yamato in hand. I have to math it out. So I have 4 cards total here. I'm going to have 5th the draw. I actually want to discard at least 1K and take the damage. So, again, I'll tell you some easy math. So I discard out for 1K, guard out for 1K, and take the damage. This is important because I have Yamato. Yamato's coming down. I want to get 2 life off of Yamato. And you want to sometimes discard and do that. So, you put it on Rush Luffy. Forcing it to have rush. I'm actually just forced to take it, right? But I could still use Yamato skill, getting 2 life, and I'm gonna be able to remove some amount of cards, but I want to be able to remove that Nami. So what I end up doing first is I attach 1 to my leader and swing 6 at the Luffy. Actually, I can swing 6 at leader now. I don't need to swing 6 at Luffy. So I just have to ignore the Luffy now because he's gonna guard his Luffy like it's his leader. So I first start with a 6K from my leader into his leader. I do gain a life because I have the set amount of restrictions here. And with that now, I do swing 9K at leader. He gives me a Rad Beam, and I swing another 9K at leader. And he's just going to have to, you know, ditch so many cards in his hand. He gives me a 2K and a 2K. And with that, I pay 9. I play down this Yamato skill. I'll kill that, and I do gain a life. And I have 3 cards in hand, 1 active blocker. And like this is really good. 2 life. He has to deal 3 damage. And I have 1 blocker. He's kind of put in a very, very, very difficult situation here. And he does swing 7. I do give him a 2k and a 1k. And he dings 7 again. And I'm thinking here, well, he might play 2 Rush Luffys. Actually, he may have, if he had another Rush Luffy, I might have just lost here if I didn't block that. If he uses Rush Luffy here, 2 Dawn on that. Oh, I may have just lost that if he had another Rush Luffy. So that I think may have been a mistake. Let me think here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, he used 1 too many. Okay. He needs a second Luffy and he needed 1 more Dawn. So he swings 6 at me. I block that. Tama's this. Marco's it. Gets the blocker out of the way. And he essentially just kind of concedes here, in a way. But I draw for turn. I think about this. He has no blockers. I have a huge hand. I first swing 6 at him. I do gain a life, funny enough. I swing 9 at him, and he can't even guard out of that first 9. So those are my triggers there. Pretty good game. I do want to emphasize this, and I'll maybe make a little edit to this, and I'll emphasize this in my next video. As far as this life thing goes, you want to count your life and your cards in your hand and the 1 card you're going to draw for Queen skill next turn. So you might need to try to over counter or counter out and still take the damage if possible. And it depends on 2 things. If you're going to 1 Yamato or 2 not Yamato. That's the main factor. That's what shows up. But I did win this game. I do, and I will have a game tomorrow set up for you guys where I play against a Zoro, and I'll talk more about that math. And I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you're liking about this, what you're learning about this, if you're liking the Queen gameplay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Again, I'm streaming this Saturday for Carta Magica on my Twitch channel, so come check that out. See you in the next one. Ciao.